Good evening, everybody. And so tonight's speakers are Lucia Lucas and Tobias Picker. Okay, let me introduce our speakers, and then I'm going to turn it over to them. So the topic is about the making of Lily Elbe. That's an opera about trans people made with trans people. And our speakers are the people who were central in not just making it, but performing that opera. So Lucia Lucas is very proud to have performed for many of the most prestigious opera houses in the world, including the Metropolitan Opera, the Lyric Opera of Chicago, the Deutsche Oper Berlin, the English National Opera, Teatro Regio Torino, and Daego Opera House in Korea. She's been around the world. Her primary discipline is opera, but Lucia is also a public speaker, an advocate for art, creates content through music, video, and writing. In the medium of opera, Lucia most often performs in Germany, the UK, and the US. She performs Verdi, Wagner, as well as many new music and world premieres. She enjoys playing all characters, from femme to masque. All right, and Tobias Picker was deemed, quote unquote, our finest composer for the lyric stage by the Wall Street Journal. He's a prolific composer in all genres. He's composed 6 operas, which have been commissioned by the Dallas Opera, the LA Opera, Los Angeles Opera, the Metropolitan Opera in New York, the San Francisco Opera, the Santa Fe Opera, and the Opera Theater of St. Louis. And Tobias Picker has composed numerous symphonic works, including 3 symphonies, concertos for violin, viola, cello, and oboe, as well as 4 piano concertos and a ballet. Picker's recent honors include a 2020 Grammy Award for the Best Opera Recording, which was Fantastic Mr. Fox, and a lifetime membership at the American Academy of Arts and Letters. His music is published by Schott. So 2 extremely accomplished individuals who are going to share with you insights, stories, and some bits and pieces, important bits and pieces, from the opera, the Lily Elbe opera, written by Tobias Picker. So I'll turn it over to you now.
La morte. E poi la morte nulla.
Hi. My name's Lucia. I guess I already got my intro. Yeah, I'm an opera singer. That's primarily what I do. But I love to create all sorts of art about all sorts of different things. I'm primarily based in Germany, but I travel all over the place. And and I love to connect with people. So after this, please know that my email address is open and my website is out there. So if you want to catch up, please do.
Hi, is this on? That was beautiful, by the way. That was the very first thing I ever heard Lucia sing when she came to audition for me. And it led to the opera that I wrote, which was actually my 7th opera that we're going to talk about tonight, and give you a little sort of walking tour through with excerpts, not the entire 2-hour opera, but probably too much of it anyway, but we're going to try and keep it to a minimum for the sake of time. Lily Elba, how many of you know who Lily Elba was? Oh, almost all of you. For those of you who don't, is there anyone who doesn't? Okay. Well, she was a famous Danish painter at the turn of the century, and she was married to Gerda Wegener, who became a famous Art Nouveau painter in Denmark. They moved to Paris, and Lily Elba was one of the first people to undergo gender affirmation surgery about 100 years ago in Dresden, Germany. And the opera tells kind of the story of her life, and based on her own memoirs. There was a famous movie made about her life in 2015 called The Danish Girl. How many of you saw that? Okay. This opera is not based on the movie. It's based on what the movie was based on, which was her life. And just to, if I'm forgetting something here, basically we're going to jump right in. I wanted to mention that I write the music, and there's something called a librettist. That's the person who writes the words, and that's Arye Lev Stolman, who is also, he's a writer, a librettist, and also a neuroradiologist. So he understood all the medicine in this opera, and he's also my husband. So since he'll be watching tonight, I did want to mention that he is my principal collaborator. And Lucia was our dramaturg for this opera from the very first day. So we're going to start with just a little bit of the overture to the opera, and that is what precedes the action.
While we're getting that, I just wanted to say we started in 2018, right? So I just wanted to say that the reason why we titled this talk making this opera specifically with trans people is because so often there are stories made about groups without those groups. And one of the wonderful things that was with this project was the ability to collaborate and how much we got to spend together in person, also remotely because, you know, pandemic stuff. But we spent a good 5 years together talking about things, debating, you know, what Lily might have meant in her memoirs and how to translate that through the current vocabulary of today. Because, you know, 80, 90 years ago, maybe we didn't have certain words, or we described things in different ways. Are we ready? Okay, so here we go, clip 1. So we just watched the very, very beginning of the piece, and this was sometimes directors, especially in the German-speaking regions of Europe, will do what they call a pre-show. And so in this pre-show, while it's not necessarily what was written in the score and may not be done that way in the future, we were trying to show Lily as a kid not understanding the customs of the binary. It's like, because we were trying to show, okay, the men will bring the woman's shoe, then the woman will try it on, sort of a Cinderella type of deal. And so we have Lily as a kid bringing out this shoe and going, okay, well, maybe it's for me. And so it's just sort of a representation of not really getting this very traditional setup. And I hope that many people in this room can sort of identify with it, at least a very strict binary, and that changes over time. And so this opera is a love story, and it takes a little bit to open your brain to, if you're not from the trans community or you're not an ally. But really what we have here is this love story between Lily and Gerda. And so what we're seeing in this next clip, this will be clip 2, is two best friends. And this is Lily pre-transition, but we're just showing how they're basically best friends. They do everything together. They're going off to the theater and they're going to watch a play of Orpheus and Eurydice.
Not sleeping.
Yes, you are, and Anna will see you.
She cannot see me in the dark.
She can see in the dark like a cat. Tomorrow when she comes to sit for me, she will ask, why did I not sleep?
Well, I prefer to look.
I can't.
So the next thing that happens in the opera is that what is the next thing that happens? Gerda and Lily are painting in their studio together, and their friend Anna who's the actress you just saw as Orpheus, doesn't show up for the sitting of her portrait painting. And so Gerda asked Lily if she would pose as Anna because she hadn't finished Anna's legs. I think that may have been in the movie too, but that came out of Lily's memoir. So it actually happened. And this is the discussion that they have about art, and then Gerda seeing Lily for the very first time, and Gerda sings an aria which we'll hear an excerpt from called "I See a Woman."
Swamps and swamps, twisted trees. What is the point of painting things without a line?
What if you mean bogs are full of life, trees are living things?
I mean, one should be people thinking things, creatures that love and yearn. The countryside is not there, the earth and the trees simply not alive.
Paint on a canvas is not alive. Paint on a canvas can never breathe. Gather your Anna is practically done. Perhaps your paint will say something to me.
Anna has nothing to say to you. You slept through her show.
Anna's always late. Who knows if she'll ever come?
She called to say she can't. She's lost her track of time. We should buy her a watch. I need to finish for my exhibition.
But her case is done, and most of the rest. You do not need her.
I do need her. I can't imagine everything. I have such trouble with life. But Anna had a thought, absurdly told her. But sit, I know, sit, I know.
She can do what?
Pretend you put on my robe. Sit with your legs like this. Sit with your legs like this. With your legs like
Just
this.
this. With my legs like this. Give me those lilies. You must put them into the fragrance of these lilies makes them living things.
So that last clip um, is sort of it's the beginning of coming out, I guess, because you may or may not know, but or maybe this experience is different for everybody, but I really felt for myself that there were a lot of moments of coming out, and especially if you're doing this with either family or especially a partner in your life, it's learning about yourself and them learning about you, and it's kind of jumping back and forth. It's like this coming out, and what does it exactly mean, and almost sort of like a negotiation, like how long will you stay with me, you know? And so these moments, I think, when you don't have trans people involved in making art about trans people, you really lose out on these little corners that can really be really meaningful to the community. Because I mean, it's definitely something that I went through with my wife. We've been together for over 20 years, and I've been out for 10. So, you know, there's a lot of sort of negotiations that go in with coming out, and how does that affect our relationship, and how does it change, and what else do we need, and all of that. So coming out, of course, social is like is a huge thing. I always talk with, I mean, I'm talking to a room that is very knowledgeable about this, I'm sure, but I like to talk about coming out as sort of three separate sort of things, and the most important thing is the social aspect, is coming out and telling the world, or telling somebody who you are. Because if you don't say who you are, how will they know who you are? That is the single most important thing. And everybody in the LGBT community who is out has experienced social transition, but also anybody who's ever shared a secret with somebody else. It's, here's something that I want you to know about me so that you know me better. And so in that scene, we see a lot of that, sharing that, and perhaps a little bit of Gerda going, oh, well, this isn't so bad, you know. So she's also sharing a little bit about her.
So the painting is finished, and the portrait of Anna, and it's the opening of the art exhibition where this portrait is going to be shown. And we have an excerpt of the vernissage at the gallery, where there was a string quartet playing, and everyone came to see all. It wasn't just Gerda's paintings, but lots of other artists are being shown. In this production, which was premiered in Switzerland last season, it was commissioned for the reopening of a big opera house there that had been closed for 4 years while under renovation. So the opera house wanted all of the different components of the house, including the ballet, to perform. So this is a very dance-heavy opera. It doesn't have to be done with 18 dancers, but in this opera, the concept was that the dancers, as you'll see in the gallery scene, are the paintings. And when Gerda is painting the portrait, she's actually putting paint on a dancer. You probably saw that. This scene also is important because it's the very first time that Lily appears in public as Lily. And it's the first time that Gerda and Anna doesn't even know that Lily's doing this, or that she posed for her legs, and she discovers this when she sees the painting. The music that Lily enters on, that the string quartet plays an important role in the opera going forward, because it comes back when Lily sings her big aria at the end of Act 1, which we're going to hear Lucia sing in the film in a few minutes.
You will always be the center of attention. That's how it should always be.
great pain of a Danish landscape.
Einer's not himself tonight, it's the dampness in the air.
Let's hope he recovers soon.
Copenhagen's always cold again.
Your portrait of Anna is interesting. It's good for Anna and his wife to have a hobby.
What kind of you to say? Is that those legs are familiar? Goodness, is it Einar? Is it really Einar? Could not be. It could not. It is Einar. Not be. Could not. It is be. What a wonderful name! If anybody asks, just say it's Ina's sister from Ina. Ina's sister from Ina. Lily, Lily. Ina's pretty sister. We have waited so long for her visit. You will find Megan to me. Lily, Lily. She is elegant and so refined, as you have often told me. We have waited so long for her to visit, for her visit. We are so happy she's here. We have waited so long for her. Everyone's ready and nice. So graceful, gracious, and kind. Yes, my little...
So as I was talking about Lily and Gerda, there's sort of this negotiations going on, basically. One of the things that I felt was really, really important is that Lily wasn't a perfect character, that Lily was a rounded out human being. And so Lily is selfish. We see that in there, and I felt that that was really, really important to convey, because nobody's perfect. And in this scene, we just saw Lily show up, and obviously Gerda was not expecting that, you know. And what happens, you know, when you overstep a boundary, you know? What happens when you come out before it's agreed, you know, maybe to in-laws or something like that, you know, something that will really change the course of your relationship. That's, you know, it's real life. And that's one of the things, when we had previews for this, we had the community around St. Gallen come, and that's one of the moments of feedback that we got was, it was good to see that Lily wasn't this perfect character, that Lily was human. That was something that was really important to us in this. And now going to the next clip, right after this moment of euphoria for Lily, she's finding herself having to go back and do a little bit of boy mode, even though she doesn't like it. And I thought that it was important to show that.
Though my mother named me Einar, I have never felt like Einar. It seems a thing so strange and baffling, it's never really felt natural. I'm not Einar. change you into, oh yes, I made of me your wife. But I have to have look at me now. Perhaps I make just a basic of a mile. Maybe I'm not really Ina. Though this is my home with you, I have known the truth all these years. I knew the truth. What is our past? The years carried us along like a boat tossed upon the sea to visit foreign lands and rest a while at every port. I stopped to fill my life with love and give my life to you. Where's Ina now that Lily's here? He has no future, only a past. Where will he go? Where will I go? No matter where I go, I will love you just the same. Together, you know I'll always love
Then will be welcome to visit us from time to time, but I know you are still my husband. Perhaps Lily will make me more famous than you, and we leave this place. All my reviews are given.
Danish puritans are fools. Lily would be most delighted to make you very famous too. Now that we will finally move to Paris, where we can be truly free.
Yes, Lord, when we in Paris, in Paris, then we can truly be free, truly free. But there's just one more thing about this place. We must always visit twilight, and let my husband come back to me.
So this goes into what I was saying about being human. Lily and Gerda, it's like, she's like, okay, well, we can play, but I need my husband back tomorrow, and this is another aspect that I'm thankful stayed in the opera is that being trans, coming out is as many of or most of you know, is trying to figure out who you are and how much you need of that. And with Lily and Gerda, it's like Gerda has gotten to the point of she can accept play, but can this be real? And Lily is already far beyond that. Lily's like, no, this is real. This is real. And she's like, no, 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 it can't be real. It can't be real. This is going too fast. This is something personally that was a big part of my life and my wife's life, and luckily we're together and we're wonderful partners in art and in life. But you know, that's difficult. You know, it's a stressor, and I'm so glad that it is in here because it's real. You know, and at the end of there, we saw Lily having to go into boy mode because they're about to meet some generous donors, and you know, Lily can't present as Lily just yet. But that leads us into this next clip.
In the next clip, they go with their donor friends to a ball given by the Danish Countess. And at this ball, which is very decadent, Lily meets a man named Claude Lejeune, who makes perfume. He's a perfumer. And he falls in love with her almost at first sight. And they dance. He sings an aria to her called enfleurage, which is the technique of making flowers into perfume, that the flower lives on long after it is gone as perfume. And this music plays a role throughout. It's threaded throughout the opera after this, and it comes to a culmination at the end of the opera, which I won't spoil for you yet now, but you'll see it in a few minutes. And it's a metaphor for life and death, and for Lily, who lives on in our memories and through works like this.
Who could ever choose? It's not up to you to choose, but heaven and I are married, only this Then may I challenge you to this foxtrot, Lily Cooter. I accept the challenge. Where is Reinhard? The famous art is running here and there. Does the artist say, or the other way around? That is a question only the face can answer. And let's stand firm. Tomorrow, let's take a stroll in that Tuileries. The lilies are in bloom. I would pick them all for you.
Why would you do that? That would be criminal. Why would you do that?
Oh, Fleurage, what is that? Oh, Fleurage is a transformation used everywhere, but most are unaware. I am a perfumer. I capture the exhalations of flowers. Some think me mad, but I believe flowers
animals are sentient beings, capable of love. Their tragedies they live so briefly, and there is no time for love. Though when they are caressed and bathed in oil, they relinquish their scent, which lives on in a perfume. They live on as perfume. Blah, blah, how much more so a boy and a girl whose time is less fleeting.
There you are.
So in that last clip, we see not only interaction with Gerda, but how does Lily interact with other people? How does she interact with men? And this is an interesting thing, is through the context, through the eyes of today, maybe Lily could have been lesbian or bi, but her structure for her world, is very clear that she had certain check boxes in her life that she wanted to satisfy that made her feel closer to her goal of becoming Lily. So whereas she had this wonderful partner right in front of her, she was searching out a man to make her more woman. She was searching out a husband to make her more woman. And later on, tragically, like sort of in a sort of Icarus way, she's looking to be a mother. And interestingly, in her memoirs, we don't see her say, "Oh, I want to hold, a baby. I want to hold my baby in my arms and see its smiling face, and I want the warm touch of a man," or something like that. It's always like these things that she's trying to do in her transition, in her life. It's about her becoming more woman, not because she actually wants these things. So in that way, if she lived in this time, maybe she would recognize that she doesn't need these other things to be her identity. These are actually other things. And maybe Gerda would be a best friend and also a wonderful partner for her. So that's something that we really wanted to show there. But here we see Lily playing, trying to figure out what she wants and what she needs. But it's not necessarily in the context of what she wants other than becoming more Lily.
In the next clip, we're going to see what happens when her family starts to find out about Lily, and her sister and brother arrive early for a visit in Paris, and her sister, who's just awful, expresses her feelings about this situation when she sees she doesn't see the person that she was expecting to visit, and she's pretty relentless, and we'll just play a little bit of that.
Let Ina explain. I'm sure there is some simple reason we don't know. I am Lily now. I have always been Lily.
Such a thing can be.
What thing cannot be? A simple woman named Lily cannot be. I am Lily. I have always been Lily. I have always been your sister.
Sister. Lily. Sister. Sister. I can call you nothing but mine. No things Marios put it on his nose. It's your special brother, Thomas my child.
So, one of the difficult things, I mean, I'm speaking to everybody who knows about all this stuff, but I find that one of the most difficult things coming out is when people you know are holding on to an old version of you. When my mom still talks to me about how I was such a happy baby and whatever, it's like, okay, well, things change. You get older, you learn things about yourself, and you develop vocabulary, even if you've always felt those things. And so I think one of the most difficult things is to get people to let go of an old version of you. The next thing that happens, that we're gonna skip it, but this is yeah. So Lily ends up, her brother was the one in there, and that was Marius and Dagmar. Marius is the brother, and he says to Lily, I know this doctor, and maybe he can help you. And that's Dr. Varnacross. And so Lily goes to see Dr. Varnacross, and he checks out the treatments that she's already gotten, X-ray treatments and all sorts of sort of experimental already treatments. And he says, maybe I can help you. And this sets this seed in Lily's brain of maybe of hope, really. But I want to say before the next clip, I wanted to give a content warning for self-harm. So if you would like to step out for about 5 minutes, we can pull you back in after. But I'll just say, Lily says that she's going to give herself a year. She's going to give herself a year to be experimented on, basically, by this doctor. And maybe it can bring her closer to who she wants to be.
I do not know if what he says can really be. But really hope to wish it true. What if this hope turns false? I will take my life in 1 year's time, and I shall make for my own story, my own ending. I will make for my own story, my own ending. My death would be so beautiful, our suffering relieved. Forgetting time, forgiving life, at last to be at peace.
So that's the end of Act One, and if you were really at the opera, you'd get an intermission and some drink now, but we're not having an intermission because we're running out of time. But what happens at the beginning of Act Two is that Lily has surgery, and what we did was roll all her surgeries, her many surgeries, into one, and we play out a dream sequence where she imagines that she's come back to life. But in this production, well, that doesn't matter. The doctor, Dr. Vornekros, who operated on her in real life, we were a little worried about that maybe he had descendants and family still surviving who would object to our portrayal of him as kind of, well, he was. Lily wrote herself that she felt abandoned by him in the end, and that he was using her to advance his career and to perform experiments on. And so we made that clear in the opera. If you see it, you'll see that. But we stopped worrying about how the family felt about it when we did further research and found out that Dr. Vornekros actually became a Nazi and performed actual very cruel experiments on people during the Nazi era. So we felt we treated him quite fairly. We're going to go to clip 11. What happens after Lily's surgery is that she wants to marry Claude Lejeune, and in order to do that, she has to have her marriage to Gerda annulled, and she gets the idea. And we don't know how this took place historically, but she actually had her marriage annulled by King Christian X of Denmark. And he recognized her as Lily Elba, let her choose her name, and she convinced him that she was Lily Elba, and her marriage, and of course 2 women couldn't be married in those days, and so the marriage had to be annulled. So he annulled it, and King Christian X historically was, I find still today, he was really breathtakingly progressive for 100 years ago to have recognized somebody like this for who they really were, and he later proved himself to be a real progressive thinker by saving a lot of the Danish Jews from Hitler. So we're going to play the courtroom scene, the royal courtroom scene, where the king listens to her case, and all the clerks and administrators in the court are saying, "This can't be. We've never heard of such a thing," and he sets them all straight.
See for ourselves this unheard of case before the court that functions in our name. Our kingdom is a modern one in an ever-changing world, but we haven't been prepared for this. What do you say? Majesty is just and rules with wisdom. I have always been a woman, even more called a man, and so I yearn for my feminine role and an honest name. Please grant me that, your majesty, and grant that dead Vigna, who was called my wife, can see you're a woman. Indeed, the ancients told us in the myths, salvation's brave will keep Aphrodite us with her always, and told they went and fought and became as one. They became one, and horses and fear and blood, by loving couples who transformed into trees. So let me together always. What do you say?
Married, we have is of deep companionship, but now I believe
I have always been a My name is Lily. My name is Lily Elba.
So, I don't know if you caught that in there, but there's this moment where Lily gives the ring back to Gerda. And something that we see in Act 2 is that Lily doesn't even really see Gerda anymore until the last scene. And Gerda is like getting closer and closer to Lily and missing Lily more and more and appreciating Lily more and more for Lily's sake. And so we see this sort of tragic story that could have been, as Lily is in pursuit of some idealized version of herself. Yeah. So,
Gerda, Gerda, Gerda is no longer married to Lily, so she marries this guy, and they have a wedding in a Paris restaurant, and they get married, but Lily and Claude are engaged. But Lily makes Claude wants to marry her right away, but Lily tells Claude, I cannot marry you until I can have your children, because she's already been promised this surgery by Dr. Vornekros that will give her the ability to have children, which well, I won't comment on that, but it's pretty shocking.
one of the interesting moments in here that we're going to skip the clip, but if you want to check out the clip on Tobias's YouTube, you can go check it out. But
The whole opera is on YouTube with subtitles, and you can find it.
We couldn't share everything tonight because it would be hours and hours longer. But something that's really interesting in the family scene is that Lily is brought to her mother's house, and her mother just knows that there's this beautiful girl from Paris, and so Lily gets to have that acceptance of her mother seeing her as a woman, not necessarily as her child. And later on, when that comes out, because Lily's sister outs her, basically, then Lily thinks, oh, if I could be a mother, then my mother will accept me as her daughter, which is rough. But we keep seeing these, and we don't see like, oh yeah, she wants to hold a baby in her arms, you know? It's like, oh, if she has a baby, then her mother will see her as a woman. So this framing is all throughout the opera, and I think it's one of the more honest things that we got to really delve into instead of just focusing on some transition story, which happens so often in art about trans people. So then there's a wedding, and Lily and Claude are, well, Claude's getting closer to Lily, and Lily's getting closer to being married to Claude, and Gerda is getting married to somebody who she's not really interested in. And during the wedding, she's like, I wish I could just marry you again instead of this guy who she's about to marry. And there are lots of difficult moments in this opera, but I really hope that they're genuine. Then we're gonna jump to the last clip, but the second to the last clip, which we can't show, but you can go check it out, is Lily and this young woman are in a hospital, in a women's hospital together. And do you want to talk about Do you want to talk about that operation real quick? So this is all of the operations except for the very, very last operation for Lily is rolled up into the beginning of Act 2. But the uterine transplant is the second to last scene.
And in order to find a suitable uterus, the German doctor, Lily's in a women's clinic in Dresden, and there is a young woman in the clinic who is neurodivergent, and she has had several children out of wedlock. So they decide that it would be best to remove her uterus and give it to Lily. And the young woman has no idea what they're going to do. They just tell her, "You need another operation." She says, "But I feel fine. I don't need an operation." But she gets one. But before the operation, Lily and Gerda are sitting in the garden and they meet, and the girl's very upset because she has to have surgery, and Lily has no idea where this uterus is coming from, which is also interesting that she never questioned, never thought to question where was this uterus going to come from. I mean, how was she going to get it? It's all kind of, in a way, bizarre when you think about it a lot. But the young woman has a big aria about this, and then
Which you should check out because it's heartbreaking. Or don't check out because it's heartbreaking, but it's beautiful.
But Lily has they have the operation. There's a big ritual dance in this production for the surgery, and she isn't doing well after the surgery, as you might imagine, and Claude comes to see her with bringing lilies to her in the hospital, and also a new perfume he's made out of the lilies, especially for her, which he calls, what does he call it? He calls it Lily Lejeune or something. Lily Lejeune, because he still wants to marry her, but he sees that she's dying. And Gerda is in Rome, and Lily won't let Gerda come and visit her in the hospital because she doesn't want her to see her dying. So Lily and Gerda write letters to each other, and her death scene is basically a series of letters between Lily and Gerda, which you'll see played out, and it all takes place with her funeral is taking place while Gerda is reading her letter to Lily. It's all, time is kind of is folding back in on itself.
It's arrest. But you are so feverish. I must tell you, last night in a dream, we were walking in the Tuileries, and you picked all the lilies. I did not object at all. No, you brought them to me. Yes, they are
letters come each day from your loving heart in Rome. How happy they make me.
They would let me visit.
Speak to me softly in your voice.
I know you say.
I promise I'll be better soon. Time heals.
I know it does, but I want to
Pierre de Claude arrived today. Don't be jealous. You know I must have a husband. I am so tired, but I am not afraid. I would die happily now. I am a woman.
I am here now. My place is with you. Give me your
I'm aware that it's getting late, and I'm also aware that Lucia and Tobias have been happy to keep talking to you. So what I'd like to say is come up to the front and talk to them some more, those of you who would like to. And thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much
Thank you so
for
much
your
for coming
performance.
today.